What's going on, guys? So it's been brought to my attention that a large amount of you are struggling to build in Vault. Now, I'm going to make this video as short as possible, as concise as possible, but pack as much information as possible as well. For those of you that understand the overall item system, in my Discord, I do have builds that I've taken apart and made pictures for you guys of what to build in what order. I'll leave a link below for that. But for those of you that would love a little bit more detailed explanation, I'm going to start a series of videos here about several different types of build, and we're starting with ADC. Check it out. All right, guys. So before I start this, I do want to show you guys what it's going to look like when you go into my Discord and see the channel that I have called WinDu Vault Build. I literally have several different builds, from carry build, mage build, support build, ability brawler build, more for the solo lane. All builds that if you build them in order and if you play properly, you're going to be able to demolish the competition with these builds. Take my word for it. Now, let's actually break it down though. So I have my carry build here. As you guys can see, I made it a very, very simple format to follow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down here it says pro tip. Select aspects that color match the items that you're building. Suggested for my carry build are going to be Ace and Hunter. Now, I'll explain. Let's just break it down really quick. Ace, the reason why we're picking it is because Ace gives you 10% increased attack range, essential as an ADC, and you get 30% additional critical strike damage. So when you do crit, you're going to crit harder. Super, super important for an ADC. Hunter, we're going to pick because last hits on enemy minions heal for 8 HP, which is huge, especially if you're going to be an ADC that's focusing on farming. That is going to help you lane longer, which is going to help you grow faster and at a steadier pace as far as progression. And then effect number 2, hitting 3 consecutive basic attacks on the same enemy hero within 3 seconds provides a burst of 20% attack speed for 4 seconds. So as you build more attack speed, which you will get as the game develops, now you're going to be able to inflict more damage because you're hitting them consecutively within a small frame of time. Now, I'll tell you, if you want to get the most out of this specific effect, pick Twin Blast, because Twin Blast does have abilities that enhance the attack speed for his auto attacks, and you can actually benefit from that effect a lot faster than you could with other ADCs, for example. Now, moving forward, let's go ahead and I'm going to tell you guys why I'm picking each item one by one. Plasma Blade. Very, very simple reason, because Plasma Blade, as you can see on here, gives you 40 physical power, 40% attack speed, and 5% life steal. You get damage, you get attack speed, you get life steal. Perfect for the early rounds. But the passive is basic attack steals 6% of your current target's health as energy damage. Now, when you put this first item, you're going to start clapping the enemy duo lane or the enemy jungler, whoever the hell comes into your lane, right? Once you start doing that damage, their first instinct is going to be, I need to build physical armor to stop this guy from hurting me. But little do they know that Plasma Blade is damaging them simultaneously with energy armor. So now you're attacking on both fields of spectrum. And I can tell you that people don't build energy armor usually until mid to late game. So when you build Plasma Blade first, you're ahead of the game because you're doing damage on both spectrums and they're not going to see it coming. And that opens up the avenue of consistent damage throughout the game so you can get in the lead. Second item we're going to go to is Boots of the Hunt. Now, in Vault, movement speed is essential. Never build boots later than your second item, because if you're building boots on your third or fourth item or so on, you're already opening up yourself to opportunities that were going to cause you to fail, because movement speed is essential. And that's why movement speed is part of the end build, because towards the end you can get stronger by removing the boots, but that penalty that you get in fault by removing the boots is so big. Honestly, it's not going to be worth it. Now, watch the hunt boots. Not only are they going to give you 100 movement speed, excuse me, but they're also going to give you 15% attack speed. Now, here's one thing that I want to touch bases on: the favor. As you progress through the match, you're going to gain favor. You gain favor by completing feats. For example, when you get your first kill, when you get the first tower, when you destroy a raptor, you get 1 favor per raptor. Those favor points can be invested into the same color code as the aspects as you chose in the beginning. So as you see here, we chose Ace and Hunter. By choosing Ace and Hunter, they're both red aspects. So now all our favor points can only go into the red faction. Now that your points are going into the red faction, look what happens. Plasma Blade, you get an extra 0.5 power per favor or per rank, as I said here. That means that if you have 10 favor, you're now getting an extra 5 power because of Plasma Blade. On Boots of the Hunt, if you have 10 favor, you're now getting an extra 10% attack speed because it's 1% attack speed increase per favor. And that's the thing about favor, guys. Some of you might not know, and I'll be more than happy to tell you. Favor is applied to every single card that has that effect. Typically, it's cards within the same color. So, for example, moving on forward to our third item, which is going to be King's Castle. The reason why I picked King's Castle, you get 70 power on your third item. That's fucking huge. You're getting 70 power and 10% lifesteal. That's amazing. That's going to increase your survivability and increase your damage output. But watch, your unique active, your active means that you can dash forward 600 units and heal for 4% of your max health per hero within 600 units simultaneously. So if you're in a chase, you activate that, you now just dashed ahead and you healed. Or if you're trying to catch up to an enemy and your buddies are there with you, your support's there with you or whatever, you dash forward, you healed, and you're now continuing the chase. So it's going to be essential for finishing kills, people that are running away that you might not be able to catch up to because they have an extra ability or something like that, because most ADCs do not have movement unless you're Twin Blast. In that case, you're going to have a little bit of movement. In that case, this is even more powerful. But moving forward, let's go back to the favor. Let's say before you had 10 favor points. At this point in the game, by the time you finish King Castle, let's say you have, I don't know, let's say 12 favor points, right? So for every favor point on King Castle, you get an extra 0.5 damage per favor point. So now that you're 12, that's an extra 6 damage on this one. And then that's an extra 6 damage on Plasma Blade. And then you have 12 favor points, so that's an extra 12% attack speed. As you continue to stack favor points, you continue to infinitely stack. That's one of my favorite parts about this item. The fact that that intricacy alone makes it so challenging and yet so rewarding when you build an actual, and like when you build precisely is a word that I'll use. And that's why I want to make these videos for you guys, because I want you to build precisely. I want you to be able to execute it. Moving on to the next one, Voracious Steel. Now, this is the other secondary basic attack lifesteal item, and I'll explain why I build them both back to back. This one, 60 physical power, so still a lot of physical power. 10% lifesteal still, so now you have a 20 combined between them. But now this one, the more favors you have, the more lifesteal you get. 0.25 lifesteal per favor. So if you're at, let's say 20 favor at this point, you're now going to be getting an extra 5% lifesteal, which is huge, boosting you from 20 to 25%. So that's something that I want you to be mindful of. As you increase your favor, you're increasing your overall performance. And actually, I totally forgot, Plasma Blade had 5% lifesteal, so you'd be going from 25 to 30% lifesteal by including Voracious into the build. Now, after Voracious is there, I want you to realize you're getting a passive. You're getting all this lifesteal from 3 different areas, total of 25% plus the possible stack that you can get even more. But now, whenever you have full life and you're life stealing, you're now going to generate an overshield. Not only is that going to help your sustainability, but it's actually going to low-key help your damage output, because you're lasting so much, you're life stealing so much, you're going to create an overshield, which just means more DPS over time. You get me? So at that point, that's going to be huge. And let's not forget about the active. Now, when you activate it, that overshield that you have, you can consume it. You get 1 power per 5 shield for 5 seconds. So be mindful. All this lifesteal, the more the game goes on, the more it's going to help you, because the bigger that overshield is, you can consume it and turn it into power. The more power you have, the quicker you can kill your enemy. Be mindful. You have to use these active items in order to fully maximize. And I would suggest, even though you're building in this specific order, these active items like Plasma Blade, King's Castle, and Voracious Steel, I would put them in the first 3 slots and move your boots to the end, because your boots don't have an active item. You don't need to reach for those. But if you can reach 1, 2, 3, 4 as quick as possible, you're going to be in a huge advantage, because using your active items, especially as an ADC, is what's going to save you in games like these. Next one is going to be Full Metal Jacket. This one's self-explanatory. You get 50 power, nice amount of power, but then 30% physical armor penetration, and then 0.25% per favor point. That is huge as well, because you're not only already adding pen, but the more favor you have, the more pen you have. So literally, you only need that 1 pen item and then focus on gaining your favor points. Again, the quickest way to get favor points are going to be Raptors and Or Prime. Or Prime will give you 5 favor points for the entire team every time you capture it. Raptors give you 1 favor point per Raptor, but it only goes to the last person that hits it. So every chance you get, you and your support need to try and grab those Raptors so you can get fed, so you can carry, so you can finish this game. Let's go ahead and move to the last one now. We're going into AI Munition. AI Munition is going to give you 60 physical power, 25 crit chance, plus 25% per favor. This is why we're building the crit last. By this point, you have a ton of favor, right? By this point, you got to be at least, if you're carrying, at 20 favor minimum by the time you get to this item. Now, the key is, if you're at 20 favor, for example, at that point, what are we going to have? An extra 5% crit chance, boosting you up to 30% crit chance. And for those of you that forgot, your aspect that we chose, Hunter, I'm sorry, not Hunter, Ace. The aspect that you chose, Ace, gives you 30% additional crit strike damage. You already have all this power that you've been building throughout the game. So now that you're going to have AI Munition, you get the crit chance that's infinitely stacking. You have more power, and AI Munition gives you another 30% critical damage. So whatever that crit is, it's going to be 60% the damage that it should be. You're going to be destroying people, and that's why we're going to put it late game. Now, honestly, guys, it's me saying the build, sometimes it comes across as a little bit simpler. I hope that you guys were able to understand. I hope that you were able to enjoy. Pro tip as well, you're more than welcome to mix and match, but I do recommend stick to this build. This build will carry you to victory. And at the end of the day, to be honest, guys, please make sure that every time you open up your item menu, spend your favor. You can spend your favor even from the middle of the lane. But if your item menu gets open, spend it, because the one for sure way that you will lose in this game, even if you have the right build, is not investing the favor properly. Like I said at the beginning, the favor gets invested into the aspects that you chose. Now, in this case, we're choosing both red, so favors only benefit red items. That doesn't mean you only have to build red items. You can put a purple item in here, a yellow, I'm sorry, not yellow, a white item into this build or whatever, but be mindful that the favors only apply to the items with the color, which colors match the aspects that you chose in the beginning. I'm bringing more builds for you guys, but I hope that this ADC build was short, comprehensive, understanding. I look forward for you guys shredding on the battlefield. Hell, y'all can join my lobbies if you want and use that build against me and tell me what you think about it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this helps you a ton. I'll be releasing more. Like I said, if you've made it this long in the video, I am going to have the Discord link below where I'm listing all my builds that you guys can just pull up the picture quickly so you guys can have an amazing time playing Fault. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.